All right, we're getting ready to start the show in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone. This is Trav. I am the Blazing Defender, and with me is my co-hosts,
Big Sam.
Big Sam.
Big Sam's in the house. Big motherfucking Sam. This is the Meatheads on Movies show.
Meatheads on the movies.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff in Hollywood that going on. Probably needs our attention. There's a lot of stuff in Hollywood going on. Probably needs our attention. 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 All right, we're getting ready to start the show in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone. This is Trav. I am the Blazing Defender, and with me is my co-hosts,
Big Sam.
Big Sam.
Big Sam's in the house. Big motherfucking Sam. This is the Meatheads on Movies show.
Meatheads on the movies.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff in Hollywood that going on. Probably needs our attention. There's a lot of stuff in Hollywood going on. Probably needs our attention. 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 All right, we're getting ready to start the show in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone. This is Trav. I am the Blazing Defender, and with me is my co-hosts,
Big Sam.
Big Sam.
Big Sam's in the house. Big motherfucking Sam. This is the Meatheads on Movies show.
Meatheads on the movies.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff in Hollywood that going on. Probably needs our attention. There's a lot of stuff in Hollywood going on. Probably needs our attention. 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 What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special Blazing Defender episode, backed by popular demand. Big Sam and the Meatheads on Movies doing our Aquaman show. What's going on, Big Sam?
Man, what's going on, man? This is slim down Sam, aerodynamic, so I could swim with the fishes and all that.
So what's
everybody?
So what's slim down Big Sam? What's a slim down Big Sam weigh? 240?
240. Yep, 240.
Still heavier than I am, by the way. Still heavier than me.
40 pounds off, man.
Golly, man. You are slimming down.
Yeah.
You trying to get those Jason Momoa abs.
Oh, man. My legs are bigger, though.
Yeah, little buddy, he got some twigs, don't he?
Yeah, I don't know how it carried him through the water so quickly, to be honest. He must have doing a lot of those breast strokes,
Yeah, he's doing some breast, all right. He getting lots of breast.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be an issue for that dude.
No, that's definitely not an issue for him. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining in. Big Sam, it's been a while. I'm glad to have you back on the show. Big Sam and I both went to see Aquaman. Had a lengthy discussion afterward about it. We were trying to give everybody ample time to see the movie. I think basically everyone in the entire fucking universe has seen this movie by now, according to the box office. Man, beat Black Panther.
Crazy, right?
That's fucking insane. Like, being the top grossing DC movie, absolutely. Would it have beat some Marvel movies? For sure. Black Panther? Not in a million years would I have thought that. So it's doing great at the box office, which is great for DC. But before we get into that, just really, really quick, guys, for new people that are joining in, please check out Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. It's a fantastic, very positive collectors group to be in. It's like if you post something, no one's going to make fun of you and talk shit to you. Everybody's real supportive. Everybody's just a collector. Plus, you'll get discounts at collectorzones.com and the Zone Comic Shop. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, this is the place you need to be buying your comic books and collectibles at, guys. The staff is fantastic. The shop looks amazing. Big Sam and I have actually did a couple shows there live. We'll get back to doing more of that. But it's a fantastic comic shop. They don't have it. They'll get it for you. And toys and games and everything you could want. So please check those out. All right, man. We're going to get into it, Big Sam. First, hold on real quickly. I'm trying to catch up with the chat here a little bit. Dennis hasn't even seen the movie yet.
Right, yeah. I like he said he'd rather watch us than the movie.
True fan right there, brother. That's a true fan. Okay, Jason Jones said it beat Black Panther overseas, not domestically. Right. Okay, I wonder how close it is. I'm very curious about that because I thought it beat it domestically, but
no,
apparently
overall it hasn't beat it.
Okay,
not for total revenue, but
okay.
I mean, it's doing unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I think Black Panther's the highest grossing solo superhero movie ever.
Yeah, exactly. So when I thought I misread it, which not a shocker, I misread something. But when I read that, I was like, "What the fuck? There's no way!" But it's doing well, and I guess that's what we're here to talk about, whether it's a good movie or not.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Here we go. This is what y'all wanted to see, man. Here it is. All right, now, Sam. I know on Instagram when I said you hated the movie, I may have misspoke.
Yeah,
but what was the exact words you gave me the moment the movie was over and we looked at each other and I said, "What'd you think? What'd you tell me?"
I don't remember. what I really don't. What I said.
You said this is exactly what you said. I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
And I was like, what? I can kind of tell that you didn't, but when you said not at all, I was like, oh, snap.
I definitely misspoke. I've seen it twice.
Okay.
I've seen it twice now. And I definitely thought I was going to like it the second time a little more, simply because the first time we saw it, it was 3D. I don't like 3D myself.
Okay.
But when I saw it the second time, I saw it in 2D, so I knew I was going to like it a little bit better just based off that alone. Here's the thing. I can't say I didn't like the movie.
Okay.
It was very entertaining. It was also a very bad movie. So, and so for me, there's two different questions. If you came up to me and said, "Hey, man, should I go see Aquaman? Did you like it?" I said, "Yeah, man, you're going to have a good time."
Okay. If
you come up to me and you said, "Hey, man, what do you think of Aquaman? Was it a good movie?" I'll be like, "No, it wasn't. It was entertaining.
Right.
It wasn't good."
Okay.
So,
all right. We're going to get into some specifics then. All right. But first, this is the way I want to do it. We'll name, because I like to be positive. We always like to be positive. We're going to name one thing we liked.
Okay. That's easy.
And then we'll go to something we didn't like. Because I definitely had my problems with it. The movie has problems.
For sure.
Overall, for me, I thought the good outweighed the bad for me. And because I know there's some things on your cons list that are not going to be on mine.
Sure.
So you go ahead and you start with one thing that you liked.
Okay, I'm actually going to say two things because there was two things that really stood out for me.
Okay.
That I really like, because there's a lot of things I did like about this.
Sure.
Okay. Number one is I loved how he looked once he put on the suit, the actual orange armor that he took from the king, the dead king's body and everything.
Yes.
He looked amazing. And so really the whole last, whatever it was, 30 minutes of the movie, once they hit the trench, from that point on, the movie was really enjoyable. Okay. For me.
Right. Yeah, you did say that. You actually said that during our movie. You said the last 20 minutes I really like once he got that suit of armor, which that scene may be one of the best cinematic shots of a superhero ever, by the way.
I loved,
amazing.
For me, best shot was when they dove down with the flare and all the trench warriors were
Yes.
around them. That shot was awesome.
That's like, there's two scenes that I have wrote down that like just stood out to me. I got cold chills. That was one of them, when all the trench demons or monsters or whatever they are, were the outcasts, were swimming down after them, and you got that shot panned back. And that's another thing I'm going to say, like, the 3D for me made the movie. Like, I don't push 3D. I always tell people, you don't need it. Go see it in 2D, save some money. It's not worth it. This movie, I feel like, is a must-see in 3D for all the visuals. Visually, this movie is fucking stunning. But the second scene, which is actually the scene before this, was early on when he was a child in the aquarium. And the shark, and he's getting bullied, and the shark is hitting the glass, and he turns around, and all the sea life runs up like, "We got your back, dog." I was like, oh shit. Now, that was a scene we had seen in the trailer.
That's the only reason it didn't hit me as hard.
It was longer. This was a longer scene. You see the shark hit, and you see him talking to the fish, and then when he turns around, his eyes glow. I mean, and I said this in the trailer. I said, holy shit, James Wan, give me a bunch of scenes like that. Just give me scenes just like that. And I feel like that's what he did. So what was your other one you were going to say?
The other thing I really, really liked that stood out, especially, being a martial artist and everything, I'm a fan of especially spear. Okay, so spear fighting is my favorite weapon in Kung Fu. Broadsword's great, bow staff is great, all that. But the spear is the granddaddy for me. And the trident is very similar to the spear in the sense it's a long, staff weapon with a spike at the end, essentially. It just has 3 or 5. So all the spear fighting training and stuff that he did with Volko and everything like that looked very authentic and very cool to me. That part really hit. I really liked that.
Right.
Although young Volko looked weird in the face for sure, but the spear fighting itself, like when they were on the beach, he was training him and all that, like that stuff was real badass, man. I really liked it.
Yeah. No, the fight scenes was on my pros list. I mean, to me, other than Winter Soldier, this was the best. This movie had the best fight scenes, and not from like a hand-to-hand kind of aspect, like super powered beings throwing each other into walls. Just when they missed and they hit something, shit exploded. I mean, like, and then when they did connect, bodies went flying. There was a scene where I guess they were in the desert, wherever they were, the Mojave or whatever, when they were looking for the Sahara. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And the Atlanteans and Black Mantis are fighting them. I don't know if it was a soldier or mantis that hits him, and he flies into a wall, and the wall just concrete just spiders behind him. And I'm like, yes, like it's the little details like that really, really made the fight scene stand out for me. I thought it was edited well. The fight scenes to me were fantastic. It was definitely on my pros list.
And see, for me, I'm split. I loved the training scenes. I loved both fight scenes between Aquaman and Orm. Didn't love the fight scene between Black Manta and Aquaman. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
The fight scene with Mera, I thought was terrible. In Italy, where she fights the 3 or 4.
Oh yeah.
So it's terrible. And the beginning fight scene with his mother, where she's fighting the people once they come to try to get her at the house, at the lake, not lake house. Can't think of the thing I'm looking for. Lighthouse. Jesus,
yes. Yes.
I thought that looked terrible. I thought the CGI was bad on
in the very first fight scene.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, I loved it.
I thought it looked really bad.
Oh, I loved it. I loved how, like, when she threw a kick, like she threw like a wheel kick, and the camera like followed her foot. And I thought, from a cinematography standpoint, they did shit that I hadn't seen in a superhero movie and stuff.
I can agree. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was shot well. I just thought the CGI looked bad.
Okay.
I thought, a little, not to the level of the Black Panther ending fight scene, which looks like it was animated.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
A little cartoonish.
Right. Okay. Give me something you didn't like.
My number one complaint, well, I got two. I got to go with two. I had two complaints that really hurt me for this movie. I thought everything with Amber Heard was horrible. I was like, I see why Depp whooped her, because she's making a mockery of his craft, I get it. Everything with her was terrible. From them doing the little Indiana Jones thing where she's like, oh my God, you just said it. You're so smart. And repeated the same shit back. I'm like, oh man, a child could have wrote this. And the forced hand holding and all of that. That was so bad.
Yeah.
Everything with her I thought was awful.
Right.
And she didn't have no ass. She got the Captain Marvel booty, leg back syndrome,
Yeah.
She should be wearing sweatpants.
I agree. I thought I had on my top, like I was trying to think of like from the worst to the least, where I was like nitpicking at the bottom. Yeah. Amber Heard, and I don't even know his name. I don't give a fuck about his name because I'll never see anything he's in. He was that bad. Amber Heard was bad. I think she's a fucking smoke show. Like, I feel like she's Gal Gadot on screen. Like, she has no bad angle. Every time the camera's on her, there could be people fucking in the background behind her. I'm just going to be looking at her because...
Not from behind.
Huh?
Not from behind.
No. Her face. Her face is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Very, very photogenic. But the guy that played Black Manta was a far worse actor than I thought Amber Heard was. The dude overacted every line he had. His character was very poorly developed in this movie.
Oh, yeah. He was the throwaway.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
He was throwaway.
So throwaway.
Yeah. They should have used 50 Cent for him, man. I mean, that's how bad that dude was. I could have seen 50 come out mumbling and everything,
Well, he was terrible. And like, so then the guy gets his motivation was very forced, very rushed. I didn't like that at all. But when Orm gives him the prototype Atlantean armor, now all of a sudden the motherfucker's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like, he creates this Mantis armor and he uses these ray beams, these photon beams or whatever. He puts them up into his helmet, and I'm like, I get it. That's what the character did, and it was a very, very comic book specific, and that's actually on my pros list because there was a lot of comic nods in this book. You could tell James Wan is a fan of the genre. Go ahead.
Jeff Johns, who wrote the New 52 Aquaman, which a lot of this was taken from, and Jeff Johns oversaw production of the movie, so you knew it was going to be pretty comic specific, and it was, and that was cool.
Well, we talked about this when they hired Johns. We thought that Johns we were going to see his touches on things, and we really haven't. Right. I think up until this point. Now, maybe some in the Wonder Woman movie, they gave him a little bit more leeway. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I felt like a lot of this was taken from Peter David's run.
There was definitely some. There's no doubt.
Well, Peter David's kind of gave him the beard, gave him the long hair, cut off his hand, made him a badass.
I thought all the trench stuff and all that was straight out of New 52.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I believe it was.
It was a combo for sure.
Yeah. I think Juan took the best things of both. And made a fantastic character.
And I'm excited for him because he's producing the Swamp Thing show, and I could not be more hyped for that Swamp Thing.
Dude, I just found that out like 2 days ago, and I was like, holy shit. Yeah. I mean, he's visionary. I mean, I really feel like this dude is like he was given a chance, and he threw that motherfucker up there and dunked it home with this. So he's gonna get a lot of leeway going forward. Now I couldn't be happy.
He has some home runs in the horror genre. I mean, between the Conjuring movies and stuff,
Right?
He's already knocked some out of the park. He
Yeah.
just had it gone to the superhero realm.
Visually, he's always been really, really, really good. But going back to Mira and what you were saying about their relationship, her and Aquaman's, I'm really kind of sick of, we don't have to have romance in every fucking movie. And their chemistry was not good to begin with, like just organically. And then, I mean, like, well, when was it? Like, didn't she like stumble and fall and he caught her? And
yeah,
I'm like, dude, you're a warrior, bitch. You don't ever trip and fall.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're supposed to be a top-notch martial artist. You got no balance.
Right, right.
But what about when she's like telling him, you don't judge a whole world based on, one person, or whatever, based on these flimsy reasons you have. I don't remember her word. And then she's in Italy. She has a little girl throw the coin in. She makes the fucking dolphins flip with the water, which was stupid as hell. And he looks at her. He's like, I see you're coming around to this, land dwellers or whatever she says. I'm like, and she goes, what she say? Some of them have won me over. However she words it. But you've met one person. You met one kid.
Right.
It's like, come on, man. This couldn't be more flimsy and forced.
Right.
Know?
Right. Yeah, I agree. Well, and another thing I wish they would have done, and this is going to be nitpicking a little bit, but, you and I have said this before, like, I don't know who sits in the editing room, or I assume it's the executive producer's decision, but, like, why is it? And, I have not had one person ask me yet about this, which I thought I would get this question a lot. Why can she move water and nobody else can? And
here's my question based on that, because my big problem with the movie was everything in the desert, the Sahara, and Italy. I thought the middle of that movie was terrible. The beginning and the end were pretty good.
Yeah.
Why, when you're in Italy and you get jumped by all those Atlantean soldiers, there's water surrounding you? Why did she not just wipe them dudes out like that and call it?
Right.
She has to go through with this, that, and then she's going to take all the wine bottles and turn them into spikes. It's like, but you could have done that shit 15 minutes ago.
That's true.
You didn't have to destroy this ancient city.
I thought that was a dope scene. Like, using the wine, I thought it was pretty creative. But like you said, like, well, there was a fountain over here. I mean, you just made some fucking fish. Why didn't you just lead them back to the fountain and you could have fucked them up there? You know what I mean?
Right.
But like in the comics, she was basically a water witch.
Yeah, she's a sorceress.
Yeah, she was a sorceress, and I really wish they would have kind of just when Orm and what's his name, Defoe's character were talking. If they they could have said it right there. Like, well, she's a descendant of the water witches or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, boom, it's explained. You know what I mean? And it's comic relevant too. So they could have knocked, two things out with one stone there, but they just, I guess they just accept it on faith that the audience is going to accept on faith. Oh, well, she's special because she can move water. Well, no, not everybody can. They explained why some Atlanteans couldn't breathe outside of water, which I thought that was cool. They needed to do that if there was going to be a distinction. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Give me something else you liked, man.
Something else I liked. Between the fight scenes, the trench stuff, once he got the suit, the training, all that was my favorite stuff. I thought everything underwater looked visually awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Star Wars at Jar Jar Brink's little world,
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was cool then, so it still looks cool now.
Yeah.
So I thought everything with that was neat. They had the little kind of like seahorses, but they were kind of warriored up,
Dude, that fight scene at the end, that was like one of the most metal fight scenes I've ever seen in my life.
I loved the jacked up mounted great white sharks.
Yes.
A lot of that was real cool.
When he come out on a fucking Kraken,
yeah,
I was like, oh, fuck, dude, they are pulling out all the stops. This is, I mean, go for it, fuck it, go for it.
And that's, I will say that. I'll give this movie credit in the sense that, like you just said, they totally went for it. Okay, so take, for example, the movie Venom, all right? I loved Venom, okay? However, I really felt when you were watching Venom, you could feel Sony Pictures holding the director back, where he was trying to make a horror movie. They're like, all right, we'll give you this. Okay, let's pull it back now. It's PG-13. It's a superhero movie. It's not going to be a horror movie. And you could feel that in the movie. And I was like, damn, if they'd have just let this dude just go with it, Venom would have been amazing,
Right.
And to Aquaman's credit, they went for it. They didn't hold back. I'll give you that.
Just to hit the chat real quick, Brian O'Neill, which I have to give Brian his props. He is the number one. I don't give a fuck who's watching this and where you're watching it at. He is the number one Aquaman fan, and he has been since I've known him. I've known him for almost over 20 years now. He is the number one Aquaman fan. He's our union president. In his president office, he has Aquaman statues, old school, like the Aryan hair and riding the little wimpy seahorse. He's had all that stuff. And he says, when we were talking about Mira and, her ability to move water, why didn't she do it when she was in Italy surrounded by water? He said she lived underwater her whole life. No reason for her to have a good balance on land. That's pretty good. And I'll give you that if they would have made it more of a struggle for her to be on land. And like when they were in the Sahara, I really wish they would have, like, that should have been really hard on both of them, especially her. Like, I'm not saying, he had to carry her. I'm saying that there should have been some physical trauma that they were going through.
And like earlier when he came out of I think it was the bar, whatever, he was taking his dad home because his dad had drank too much. Mara hopped out of that water, was walking around talking to him with no trouble,
Right. Yeah.
So that's my thing. You can't pick and choose. If she's going to struggle on land, make her struggle on land.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I agree, yeah, she's been underwater. She wouldn't be thinking that way. She's fighting on different terrain. I mean, you as a martial artist, that. Like,
she was fighting with no issue.
Dude.
Running on those rooftops with no issue.
She sure the fuck was.
I hated that scene.
Oh, I loved it.
I thought it was so bad, man.
Oh, I loved it.
I was like, this is Fast and Furious without the vehicles.
Yeah, that's cool.
No,
I love Fast and the Furious, man. I love those movies. Shit, they are what they are,
Right.
And another thing. What's
I
that?
say my number one complaint, other than Amber Heard,
Okay.
the score.
Oh, we talked about that.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was
First of
awful.
all, there's a couple times it sounded like Tron, which was just weird. Like when she was running on the rooftops, it was Tron. You had to digitize 80s music and shit. That was weird.
Was that when me and you looked at each other in the theater? No, this was a song with lyrics. And we looked at each other and I went, what the fuck?
Was it when they came out of the water to get in the Sahara and it dropped that hip hop song out of nowhere? Because that was weird too.
Maybe.
And then they dropped the hip hop song when your man Black Manta turned into Tony Stark. It was making all his weapons and uniforms, so they dropped that hip hop track. I was like, oh, this is MTV Cribs. It was so out of place and weird.
Yeah.
Man. The soundtrack was horrible.
The score was really, really bad.
If it wasn't for Brian O'Neill said Pitbull's Africa, that's about accurate. If it wasn't for Amber Heard, I would have straight up said the score was the worst part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the score and Amber Heard are kind of neck and neck for me. Those are the two things that really hurt me in the movie. The other stuff was a little nitpicky.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about the score when I was making my list because it was fucking awful. Now, if I'm nitpicking, this is my thing with DC movies. Like, especially Wonder Woman. You and I talked about this. Now, Aquaman or Water Thor, because that's what it was. Wonder Woman was first Avenger. I know I did the round table with the Breaking the Panel guys, and everyone on that panel disagreed with me. And I'm like, guys, she's getting into a plane full of explosives that is going to wipe out the Allies. Are you kidding me? Like, this is Captain America First Avenger. This movie's Thor. He's a drunkard. He wants to brawl. He's immature. He doesn't know where he's going with his life. He meets a woman from another world, basically. She shows him a way. You know what I mean? He has a what would we call it? A conflict of conscience. When the
issues with his brother.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Him and
right.
Thor and Loki.
Come on. It couldn't be more Thor.
Battling for the king throne, essentially.
And let me say this. Go ahead.
Yeah. You go ahead. Go ahead.
I have to say this. I love the dude that played Ocean Master. Thought it was fantastic. I thought he looked fantastic. If you'd have told me that they could have put a comic, accurate Orm or Ocean Master on the screen and it not look goofy as fuck, I'd have been like, I'll take that bet. I would have lost money.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and he looked amazing. When he put the helmet on at the end, I was like, oh, man, that's so dope. I mean, did really good.
Yeah. I agree. No, Ocean Master was one of the positives for me.
Yes.
And that's dude, he's from the Conjuring movies, so he'd worked with James Wan before.
Sure.
He was great. For me, when you're talking about Water Thor, if you remember what I said to you when the movie was over, I said Jason Momoa is Chris Hemsworth without the charisma.
Yeah.
That was Thor with no charisma, was essentially how it felt to me, because I don't love him. I think Jason Momoa is a dude. He seems cool as shit, man. The way he takes pictures with fans.
Yeah.
You know, and all that. He seems like a cool ass dude. As an actor, I don't know, man. His narration was terrible. My father was a lighthouse keeper, you know, and my mama was a queen. It wasn't supposed to work out. He sounded like a drunken Keanu Reeves from Point Break, like a meathead Keanu Reeves, or even a slightly easier to understand version of Stallone and Rocky. It was somewhere in between there. Hey, yo, you know, I need one more. You know, he was a lighthouse keeper. You know, that killed me, man. Especially right off the bat, like that. I was like, this is a dumb fucking dude to be narrating a movie, man.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, I like Momo. He's The Rock for me. Okay, like The Rock hasn't had a movie that has really been great, but you love watching The Rock. He's a cool dude. Even though The Rock has the Rock persona, where Momoa's, I guess now he's Aquaman. Like, he's going to be Aquaman now. Like, after this movie, just like Helmsworth's Thor, Evans is Cap, Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Those guys, Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I mean, they are going to be those characters from here on out. I see what you're saying. I like him though. Now I'm watching Frontier, watching Aquaman. Maybe want to check out Frontier. A lot of people said I should watch it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Momoa, like,
I've heard
he's exactly who he is in this movie. Okay. Like that's the reason I call him The Rock. They're going to be who they are in every movie. So it's really good that Momoa has found his niche this early in his career, because he can ride this shit out, because he's a young cat.
I thought Momoa's niche was in Game of Thrones, when his best shit was when he had no lines.
Khal Drogo? Well, he did. He was speaking
right.
Dothraki.
Right. He didn't speak it. Nothing that made any sense. And that's what it sounded like in Aquaman. I was like, he might as well be speaking that Dothraki shit or whatever, because I don't know what the dude's saying.
But, dude, there's a scene. Now, do you watch Thrones, Sam?
No, I watched the first season.
Okay.
I couldn't get into it, man. I liked it. I didn't think it was bad. I could see where people loved it. I just didn't.
Dude, when there's a scene where he's talking to his screamers or whatever they call them, his army, basically his Dothraki army, and he's speaking in another language, but he's basically giving them the pep talk, like, we're gonna go fucking slaughter people. Are you with me? And I'm like, I have no idea what the dude is saying, but I want to fucking chuck a spear at somebody right now. Like, it was that good. I mean, so the dude can exhibit energy and passion. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of actors that, like Amber Heard, like everything was very robotic. Like we think that we're going to get in Captain Marvel with Brie Olsen. I'm sorry, I said it again. Brie Larson.
Yeah,
no, I said it right.
You said it right.
I said it right. Yay! I said it right.
I prefer it with Brie Larson, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think she's a better actress.
She wear those pants better. I know that's the truth.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm nervous about Captain Marvel, man. It's the first Marvel movie I've gone into it not at all excited.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I mean, I've got to see it just because I've talked so much shit. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, dude. I talked about this on Blazing Defender. After I seen the trailer, I posted the newest trailer and I said, man, I'm really not feeling this movie, but I hope I'm wrong as I sit in the theater on opening night. And I was called a hater, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not a fucking hater. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this trailer looks good. And if you think it does, then me and you probably aren't going to agree on a lot of movies. Right. Now, it is just a trailer. And I hope when I walk out of that movie theater, I think you and I are going to go see it together probably if we can. And we're going to go, holy shit, man, that was fucking awesome. And we're going to be happy about it. We're not going to be hating and saying that it was bad. But it doesn't look good.
A comic book movie to do well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, for sure. I mean, I'm a fan of the genre, man.
Jason Jones said he could put Brie Olsen's ass on Brie Larson's body. I think that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, dude, if they can do what they did in Aquaman, they can definitely do it. You know what? This got me thinking the other day because it was on, and I watch it every time it's on. I don't hate it like a lot of people do, but I was watching Justice League. And the scenes where they CGI'd out Cavill's mustache, that might be the worst CGI I've ever seen.
I don't know if it's worse than that last Black Panther
film. That was pretty bad too. But what I'm saying is that
like 2 days ago.
I mean, dude, we're talking a mustache. I'm not talking about two dudes in powered suits that are fighting and, doing all this shit that you've got a CGI. It's a fucking mustache, and you made it look that goofy. That blows my mind how that was even possible. I still don't understand that.
Well, and especially to do it because he was on Mission Impossible. Those movies sucked. I'd have been like, hey man, listen, you shaving your mustache, fuck Mission Impossible.
Couldn't they put a fake mustache on him in Mission Impossible? I think it was.
It'd have been no faker than Tom Cruise's acting.
Well, I think it was studio dick size. Like, Paramount was like, no, we're not shaving it. Fuck you. Like, he's under contract with us right now. He's did your movie. I know you're doing reshoots, but we got contract too, so he's not shaving it. Because that would have been an easy fix. Shave it. Do the scene, reshoot the scenes with Superman that Whedon wanted, and then put a fake mustache on him for Mission Impossible. But no,
I just said, Paramount, look, man, this fake mustache can't look any goofier than every facial expression Tom Cruise makes. So we're putting a fake mustache on him.
That was a good movie, dude.
Tom Cruise is the worst, man.
Dude. He may be, but he makes great movies, and those Mission Impossible movies are fucking awesome.
Here's my thing, like one. I want to like you because you're from Louisville, first of all. And I still can't like him.
Yeah.
Because the dude looks confused. He be getting head looking confused. Like, what's going on? He wouldn't even understand that shit, man. I don't understand what's so confusing to him through the entire movie. Like, you're a super spy, the number one super spy,
He's the man, yeah.
Why do you never look like you know what's going on? I can't dig it, man.
what do you give Aquaman score wise? And let me say this before we give a score. The reason we give scores is because it is a benchmark. So like if we give what yes, exactly. So if I say I give Venom a 7 and I give Aquaman an 8, then you can be rest assured that I thought Aquaman was a better movie than Venom was, or vice versa. I'm just using those as comparisons. So, you know, because, you know, I've heard people say, well, you know, stars are so contrarian. I'm like, dude, it's a benchmark. Like you said, it gives a comparison. So what would you give it star-wise out of 5?
Because like I was talking to you about, Aquaman is the most disjointed movie to me. Okay, so if you said, what would you score Aquaman on an entertainment level? I'd say 7.5. If you said, where would you put Aquaman on level of good movie as far as like good story and good acting and stuff, I gotta say like a 4. So I guess overall, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Wow, that's a lot lower. That's a lot lower than I thought than you would. Like, especially after seeing it the second time.
I'm gonna give it a 6. That's above average though. 5 is average.
Right, that's right. 5 is average. That's right.
So I'm saying it's above average movie.
I was just happened to be looking at my notes, and I forgot to mention this, especially when you were talking about the trident fighting. Remember when I think someone said his name earlier, and I Merc was what's his name's character? Was that Merc, the Orm's advisor? William Dafoe? Huh?
It's Volko.
Okay. When Volko was training him and when he went to fight Orm, they're like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, do you remember everything I've taught you? And Momoa or Aquaman goes, everything. I remember everything. And then they go to that scene where he spins the trident. We see it at the end. Why didn't he do it in the first fight?
Yeah, I don't know.
With Orm. He needed it in the first fight.
He got his ass whooped.
That's what I'm saying. So
he probably even had a chance to spin the thing because he was getting his shit tossed.
That's true too. I was kind of like, wait a minute, dude. Where was this fucking badass move at earlier when you were getting whipped? I'd have whipped that shit out. I'd have ended this shit immediately because I'd have started doing that.
It's just like in that shitty movie Iron Man 3 when the dude breathes fire and then never does it again.
Never does it again.
Look, if I'm breathing fire, man, you better believe I'm breathing fire all the time.
All the time.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm lighting cigars with fucking breathing fire and everything.
Porch, I'm breathing fire.
Yeah, somebody's going to be like, hey, man, can you light my cigar? I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, stand back.
Right.
Because I'm going to be fucking doing it all the time. Okay, it's my turn.
This might get out of hand.
Yeah. All right. God, man. I like this movie. I liked it. It definitely has its problems. I'm honest. I'm looking at my pros and cons list. The cons list is longer.
Yeah.
Okay. But I love visually. This movie blows me away. The hair and everything in the wall. Somebody had a job for 2 years, and they said they went through and they were underwater hair. And they had to do everybody's fucking hair underwater. So that was somebody's life for fucking 2 years. And those little details paid off. It was stunning to look at. I love the fight scenes. The comic nods everywhere, even with the octopus playing the drums. That's like a character from Aquaman.
And Little Mermaid, but that's fine.
What do you mean?
It was in Little Mermaid, too, when they did Under the Sea and they're singing. There's an octopus beating all the drums.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
I'm a Little Mermaid aficionado.
Yeah, obviously. With trivia like that, you are.
And that bitch was a better redhead than Amber Heard.
But there is a scene, there is an issue where this, and the only reason I've seen this on the internet, that this octopus plays the drums in an Aquaman comic.
That's true.
Voltro or...
Volko?
No, not Volko. I think I do.
The octopus.
Yeah, I'm talking about the octopus. I'm sure Brian O'Neill knows. Topo. Thank you. Topo. Yeah. So Yeah, man. I haven't. Yeah. Dennis Robinson says you haven't seen Little Mermaid, Travis. You bitch. I think you mean that's not. That means I'm not a bitch because I haven't seen Little Mermaid.
No, Little Mermaid's good shit.
No, dude. My wife, she would kill me if she knew I haven't seen Little Mermaid. So yeah,
Little Mermaid's good shit, dude.
yeah, man. I I think I have seen it. I just don't remember. Like, I don't have the memory of an octopus playing the drums. I don't have that. The movie didn't stick with me that well, I don't guess.
And the score was better.
Oh, fucking for sure the score was better. Okay. God, man, I don't know what to give this movie. Originally, huh?
It's disjointed, man. There's so
I agree.
things, so
but it's okay. So if you have, I'm not looking for an Oscar contender either, though.
Right, me neither.
So, I mean, I'm already forgiving the fact that there's explosions underwater and people can talk underwater. I'm already forgiving a lot of shit.
I didn't say any of that.
Right. I'm going to give it I said a 7.5 originally. I'm sticking with that. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I really kind of want to give it an 8, but because of the problems movie-wise, like, you know, just the structure. The second act was awful. I mean, I will give you that. The second act was terrible. I'm gonna stick with 7.5.
Okay.
Now I have not seen it a second time. I want to. I'm trying to see Bumblebee.
That's what you need to see.
Yeah, because you and I were going to try to talk about Bumblebee. Maybe we'll just do another show once I do see Bumblebee. I'm gonna try to see it this week.
Should I spoil it and give everybody my rating on Bumblebee right now?
You can give the rating, but don't say nothing else. Because I don't want you to spoil it for me because I ain't seen it yet.
Right. 9.4.
God damn. And that's right. Because you gave Infinity War what?
9.6.
Wow. That's...
And I'm not a Transformers dude.
No, you're not. No, you are not.
9.4.
Now, I talked to a guy at the gym today, and I asked him, he took his son to see it, and, he takes his son to see all the comic movies. He's a comic book fan. And I said, what did you think of it? I said, because my buddy Sam liked it. It was Eli. So, you know Eli, Sam. And he goes, man, it was too fucking slow for me. And I said, what? He goes, yep. He goes, too slow. He said, it's shit we've seen before. Transformers, they're knocking over shit because they're in the house because they're big. And, it's the story about a girl and, a love affair with a girl in her car. And we kind of seen that with, Shia LaBeouf in the first one. He was like, it was nothing original to me. And I was like, okay. So
it's fair. I told you what we talked about briefly. If I had one complaint, it would be there wasn't enough action in the middle of the movie. So I could get what he's saying in the middle.
Okay.
But it's not as much a superhero movie as it is an awesome 80s nostalgic movie. It's like if you love 80s shit, you're gonna love it. And John Cena is phenomenal.
Oh my God! He said he was awful.
No, he killed. That Eli didn't understand it. It was a joke. He hammed everything up on purpose. He's over the top on purpose.
Why?
Because it's like tongue in cheek. You know what I mean? Just like in have you seen Rampage?
No. With The Rock, based on the video game.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, Rampage is awesome, and you've got your man in it who plays Negan, right?
Yeah.
And he gives
Henry James Morgan.
Over the top. Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Over
Jeffrey
the top. Just hilariously tongue-in-cheek, stereotypical characterization of the character he's playing. And that's what John Cena did. It's just so over the top. It's awesome. It's like Raul Julia when he was M. Bison in Street Fighter. He's like,
yeah.
I'm just going to have fun with this shit. And that's
okay.
He wasn't meant to be serious.
I gotcha. All right. Well, okay. Well, that's let's see. I've seen something in chat. Well, Shannon Tucker says, I like the nod to the animated film in the beginning.
Yeah.
Bumblebee felt more like Transformers than the Bay films.
Agree.
Okay.
Agree.
Yeah. I never see. I guess I'm not a Transformers guy either. I guess I'm a little older, so I didn't grow up with Transformers. You know what I mean? I think they're cool, and get your poo gun ready there, Debo. Debo said earlier in the chat he had his poo gun ready to shoot. I like the Michael Bay films.
Oh man, I like the first one.
I like the first one. The only one I really didn't like human wise was the Wahlberg one. I thought that was terrible. But I've always liked the Transformers. I always liked Optimus. I always liked the way they look. I come out of the movie theater and I'm looking at cars going, these motherfuckers are about to transform. I mean, so those are popcorn movies to me, kind of like the Fast and Furious movies. I know what I'm getting. I know I'm going to see a Mini Cooper jump the Grand Canyon and land and keep on going. I know that.
Right.
I accept that. So I didn't have this this traditionalist, I'm a Transformers fanboyism going into those movies like I know a lot of people did.
Right. For me, the Transformers movies, the problem with me, like I said, because I'm not a huge Transformers guy either. I love the first. I thought the first one was great. I bought it on Blu-ray. But all the other ones, they looked like such a jumbled mess when they were trying to fight. It just looked like a whole bunch of metal shit turning.
Right.
And then the stories made no sense. Like the last one, number 5 or whatever, the third time Anthony Hopkins walked out of that castle and tried to explain some shit that made no sense at all, I looked at Amanda and I said, I'm going downstairs to eat. And I went and took a meal then. She finished it, but I took a meal then.
Right.
But this movie, I think that it looks better. The fight scenes there are awesome and they're distinguishable. Optimus was a badass in his parts.
Okay, good. So Optimus is in the movie.
Yep.
Okay, good. Because I really like Optimus. He's a bad motherfucker. I like him.
I think you're going to like it, man.
Okay.
Really
well, I'm going to check it out. I'm definitely going to check it out this week. I want to see Aquaman again, but I'm going to check out Bumblebee. Real quick before we get out of here, okay, now that DC might be going in a direction now. I know you and we've talked about this at length on several shows. I'm a Snyderverse guy. I liked him. I liked BVS, Man of Steel. Start throwing your shit now. I don't give a shit. I will defend those movies till the end.
I still think if we got the Snyder version of Justice League, it would end up being a good movie.
I guarantee it. There's no doubt in my mind. We're never going to see it, I don't think. But we can hope, right? I know they said there was never going to be a director's cut of Suicide Squad, and then they came out with a version with 22 extra minutes or some shit.
And it was still horrible.
And it was still awful. Yeah, that movie was fucking garbage. But yeah, so where do we want to see? What's next on the front for DC? I'm not sure. Is it the Birds of Prey?
No, Shazam.
Shazam! Oh, motherfucker! A movie that I am less excited about than Captain Marvel is fucking Shazam. I don't, dude. The muscle suit. I mean, what are we doing? Is he never? We're never going to see Zachary Levi in a regular street clothes. He's always going to be in the Shazam suit, I guess.
I guess that's what they're going to have to do.
I mean, because the dude's got shoulder caps like Rolly Winkler. I mean, what the fuck?
Here's my one thing that holds out hope for me with Shazam is just like Aquaman, Jeff Johns did the Shazam stuff in the New 52.
He did.
So hopefully he's got a good, fun knowledge and basis he's going to pull something from. And it'll be different than something we've seen. It at least looks different than other superhero movies.
Well, Shannon Tucker says it looks super fun. And I will say that. It does look like it looks like a movie I could take my 6-year-old nephew to, and I think he would enjoy it. You know what I mean?
I think it looks better to me than Captain Marvel.
Really?
Captain Marvel, to me, looks like a movie I've seen Marvel make 18 times already, but not as good. Shazam, at least looks different.
Sure.
We talked about, they're going for it,
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get so far away from the Snyderverse. I hope that they don't get too campy and kiddie. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of the things I'm loving about the Titan show. It's so dark. It's so edgy. It's so adult. I just like adult. I like adult shit. Now I'm not saying I can't go to Shazam and not like it, because I got in this conversation at the Zone, actually, with Dan and some of the guys that come in there. I said, I'm a big Rock fan, big Dwayne Johnson fan. I watched the Titans the other night just because it's his new show, and I'm a big, big fan of his. But I will say this. He has not made a movie worth a shit yet. He hasn't made a good movie yet.
You just said you like the Fast and the Furious movies.
I do like them, and I like him in them. They're not his movie, though. That's like an ensemble.
Like Rampage a lot.
Yeah, see, and I haven't seen that, and I need to see that, because that looked like my kind of movie from the get-go. But The Rock, unlike Momoa, The Rock has not found his niche. He hasn't found his character, and maybe it's Black Adam. I'm a huge Black Adam fan. Like, he's one of my favorite DC villains. So when I heard they cast him, I was like, oh man, this is going to be fucking cool. Like, this could be the guy. There was a rumor that Black Adam could make a cameo in Shazam. Now I'm hearing that he's not. I don't know. If he does, I'll be fucking ecstatic about it. But it looks like that DC is kind of going in the right direction now, and maybe they let they gave him more power, a la Kevin Feige. And said, here, man, you're the expert on this. These directors are going to do their own thing, but you're going to be there on set every day to advise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here's my thing. I'm going to say two things. One, it's hard. I'm definitely not disagreeing with you, but it's hard for me to say DC's finally going the right direction, because to me, minus Suicide Squad, I've liked every movie they've made. I liked Man of Steel. I liked BVS. Suicide Squad was horrible. Justice League was not that great. It was okay. I liked Wonder Woman, and Aquaman's pretty good. So to me, that's not bad. Hey, that's better than Star Wars has been doing.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
And you all can get mad at me all you want for that one, but Star Wars, 4 for 9? So
yeah. But
let me ask you this question, because I wanted to ask you this earlier when we were doing the ratings. Where will you put Aquaman in the DCU? Like, rate those movies in order.
Oh, yeah, it's easy for me.
Okay, go ahead.
BVS.
Number 1, right? Number 1.
Ducking and weaving. BVS number 1.
Agreed. I totally agree.
BVS number 1. Man of Steel number 2.
Number 2. Yep.
Aquaman 3. Okay. Wonder Woman 4.
Okay.
Am I missing one? Justice League 4. No, 5. And then Suicide Squad's at the fucking bottom. I don't even want to rate it. It's not even on my list because I hate it.
I totally agree with your list, except for me, I'd flip Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
It's fair.
I put Wonder Woman 3, Aquaman 4, but they're close.
Yes. Yeah, they're close. Yeah.
That's basically the same list I've got. And so to me, that's 4 enjoyable movies.
Absolutely.
1 okay movie and 1 shit show.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, and like I said it, and you and I have talked about this before. I'm a Snyderverse guy, and I would have liked these movies if he was still involved. Like, if that vision of the Flashpoint storyline or the Injustice storyline or whatever he was going for, I would have loved that too. If we could have seen that vision.
Darkseid so bad.
Oh my God. Yeah. And wasn't he supposed to be in Justice League? Like, he was going to show up in Justice League.
Yeah. Because Justice League was going to be a 2-part movie.
Yes. And it probably should have been.
Yeah, you were going to have Steppenwolf, and then Darkseid was going to come out, somewhere in it as the big bad. And then Darkseid was going to be the dude in number 2. To me, Darkseid's better than Thanos.
Yeah.
I'm Darkseid dude. And
That
I like that.
yeah.
But look, but here's my thing. How many people were really on Thanos' nuts until this movie?
Well, that's true.
Not that.
Yeah,
So
but
if you gave Darkseid that same chance,
yeah, no, oh, and I agree. But but this is what the movies did for Thanos. The Marvel movies did. I was always a big Thanos fan. You know that from the comic. I mean, I love the comic Thanos.
Me too.
This Thanos, they did him better than Starlin ever did him in the comics. Than anybody ever did him in the comics.
Right, which is amazing.
And now, like, my love for Thanos is even more. And if I had to rate comic version Thanos and movie version Thanos is the deal. Like,
I agree,
from the actor to the motivation to all of it. What's that?
But see how he is in the next one, because I have a feeling that Thanos is going to get shitted on in this fourth movie, and that's going to upset me.
Doesn't he kind of have to?
No.
Well,
No.
yeah. I mean, well, you got people running around saying Thanos was right. You got people kind of, that kind of creates a conundrum. You can't have people liking the villain more because, that's the reason we go see the good guys kick the bad guy's ass, right? Now, you and I have always said, let the good guy win.
But what about Darth Vader? I think Vader supersedes the Star Wars universe.
I agree.
So I think you could do that with Thanos.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I do too. I kind of feel like I feel like that was Thanos' movie. And one, people didn't know who the fuck Thanos was. Most people that go see that movie. Right. We haven't seen him at all unless he was in a cut scene, a post-credit scene. Right. Or other than Guardians when Ronan talks shit to him. So that's all we've seen.
Was it the first Avengers maybe where Loki shows up on the asteroid and he turns around? So you saw him for a second.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it's quick.
Yeah, it's real quick. Yeah. So, no one knew who he was. So they needed to get to build a character with him in Infinity War. And they fucking did a fantastic job. There's no argument there. I don't think anybody's going to argue that point with us. With Darkseid, it would be the same way. Like, not a lot of people are familiar with him outside, comic book fans. So we need to see him in a vehicle that makes us either give a shit about him or want to hate him. You know what I mean? You're right. I think that this, that was a Thor Thanos movie. The last Infinity War, it was, basically their story. This movie, with it being Cap's last movie, I think it's going to be a Captain America movie. It's going to be like his send-off picture, I think. I think that they're going to villainize Thanos a little bit more than they did in Infinity War. I'm actually, if you guys haven't read Titan Consumed, the novel, the Marvel Infinity Wars novel, you really, really should. It's fucking great. It shows you Thanos growing up and on Titan, what he went through, when he got exiled from Titan, what happened, how he collects the Black Order, how he goes on this mission. Go ahead.
There was a mini series Marvel did not that long ago for Thanos where it showed him growing up on Titan, and then he came of age and he went to those different planets. It was erasing people, essentially killing them and stuff. I can't remember.
Talking about Jason Aaron's Thanos?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Aaron. And that was really good too.
Great. Yeah, it gave you some backstory. And they use that a lot in this. Like his growing up, it was actually a little more detailed than in Aaron's run. And it really paints Thanos as a savior. I mean, it really does. Now, you don't agree with his methods, obviously. And that he runs into that problem toward the end of this book. But
I think that's what makes a great villain, okay? So
absolutely.
Just off the top of my head. So you got Thanos, who everything he's saying is correct.
Yes.
We're overpopulated. We use up the resources. We treat our planet like shit. All that's correct. Like you said, methods are poor. take Heath Ledger's Joker, okay? Everything Heath Ledger's Joker said in that movie is correct. You can send a troop of soldiers over to Iraq and get killed. No one bats an eye. You kill a mayor, everyone throws a fit, even though it's maybe 20-1, okay? You don't agree with the methods, but what he's saying is true. Take Killmonger from Black Panther. There's no one who can't relate to Killmonger on some level, whether it's the father-son or the abandonment, or feeling like the world gets you on some sort of level. So to have a good villain, or a great villain, I should say, to have a great villain, you have to have that gray area that makes you think like, damn, dude's kind of right, you know?
He's got to be relatable.
Yeah, and that's why these big, stupid, overbearing monsters don't work, like Steppenwolf and shit. It's like, come on, man, I can't get with that.
Yeah,
you know, so.
Brian Taylor actually even said a little earlier, Killmonger was relatable and believable, and he really was. And I'm not a Michael B. Jordan fan, and that was a fantastic role by him. He's one of my favorite Marvel villains.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean he was great.
Yeah.
Feige said this at the not the Oscars, where they had the Golden Globes the other way. Was it the Golden Globes? The whatever the movie awards they had the other day. Feige was there on the red carpet, and they actually were talking to him about what's coming up. And he had seen Aquaman the night before, which I guess it was like 3 nights ago. And he said he loved it. He really, really enjoyed it. And he's like, I see no DC Marvel rivalry. All I see is good movies. Right. And that's the way it is for me. Like, I will say, putting Marvel stock of movies against DC stock of movies, it's not close.
Oh, it's not even close.
It's not even close. Did I love BVS? I did. Did I like Aquaman? I did. I liked all those movies. But just it's like, what's a good comparison? Like driving a Corvette as opposed to a Maserati or a Ferrari. You know what I mean? The Vet's going to be fucking nice, but you're going to step into another couple $100,000 automobile and you're going to know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but like you said, we're both fans of the genre. We just want to see good movies. We want to see Captain Marvel be the best thing. I want to walk out of that theater and go, I got a new number one. I got a new number fucking one. If my number one changed every time a movie came out, nobody'd be happier than me. You know what I mean? So we want them all to be great. I'm glad that Aquaman was good. Like you said, Sam, DC is really putting together a group of work. They're putting a really good group of work together with these movies. I just really wish, like Marvel, this is where I think DC falls short. Marvel has the phases, right? This movie's going to lead into this movie. What happens in this movie is going to make this movie 2 years down the road. Do you see what I'm saying? They have a blueprint. They have a battle plan that they execute. And Marvel's had some trouble, right? With directors. They go, no, you're not doing that. Yeah, I am. No, you're not. Bye. You know what I mean? Like, dude, we're Marvel. We're Disney. We got Disney money. Get by. Well, fuck you. We'll find somebody else. Who was the cat that was supposed to do Ant-Man that everybody was so hyped on?
Edgar Wright.
Thank you. Edgar Wright, I've seen his movies. He's really good movies. I would have liked to seen an Edgar Wright Ant-Man. What's that?
Baby Driver, one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Baby Driver's fucking a phenomenal movie. Loved it.
Amazing.
Loved it. I really liked to have seen him in Ant-Man. Like, he would have did a great Ant-Man movie, right? But if he can't play in our sandbox, then you can't fucking play in our sandbox. You see what I'm saying? Right. Because Marvel's big picture. We're not just trying to make Ant-Man, dude. We're trying to make Secret Wars that's going to be 6 years down the road, and this is the rules that we have to play by right now. So, and I think DC lacks that because they give the directors whatever they want to, here, oh, you want to do that? Yeah, go ahead. Do that. And I think that's where DC falls a little bit short, and Marvel's just got this cohesion and just this formula for making fucking great movies. I wish DC would get that, maybe they're going to get more toward that now that maybe Snyder's gone, and maybe they'll let Johns do some shit. I don't know.
See, I'm going the other way, and I agree with what you're saying completely. Marvel has that vision that DC doesn't have, but I think DC is getting further and further away from it. I think DC is now putting more solo movies. We like this movie, then we're going to do this movie, then we're going to do this movie. I think the DC universe isn't really happening now at this point.
No.
I think you're going to see a lot of almost one shot.
One shots.
And that's cool.
You're not going to see a Justice League 2.
No.
I mean, they don't even have a Man of Steel 2 in the works.
Look, I mean, Aquaman had no cameos. They
None.
briefly mentioned Justice League when they said they had some throwaway quick line about it. But other than that,
right,
there was nothing to tie it into any of the movies. And I think you're going to see more and more of that.
Yeah, which sucks.
I can be okay with it, too. Because I think DC's issue for me was what they were trying to follow Marvel.
Right.
But they did a bad job of it.
Right,
so
right.
if this is for their niche, let's just make good singular movies. Yeah. I'm cool with that. As long as it's good.
As long as it's good. Yeah, and I mean, I'm good with that, but if they do that, if they stay, like, let's just say that every movie they make from here on out is like Aquaman. They won't, right. But let's just say it is. I mean, we got James Gunn doing the Suicide Squad sequel. That's got to be better than the fucking original, right? I'm pretty excited about that. I think that could be really good.
Me too, especially because first they were saying Mel Gibson, and then I couldn't have even gone and seen it.
Right. I don't think any Jews could have. Yeah.
Right.
It was
right.
A Jew ban on Suicide Squad. Or they were Suicide Squad was going to be hunting down Jews. That would have been the Mel Gibson movie.
He was going to be like, hey, man, don't watch this. You can only go see The Passion of Christ.
Right.
That's all your Jew ass
yeah.
see.
Where Jews killed Jesus. So, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
That was actually, I like that movie. I thought that was a good movie. You didn't like Passion of the Christ?
No.
Yeah.
It was like watching a snuff film. I was like, damn, I could watch YouTube and watch a dude get his ass whooped for an hour.
That's true.
Like,
it was pretty hard to watch. But this is what I feel like. If every movie they make from here on out is like Aquaman, it won't be, but let's say it is. Marvel movies will still be here. DC movies will still be here. DC will never ascend to that level of filmmaking without that cohesion, that singular vision of an end game, like for a Justice League sequel. You know what I mean? Or a Flashpoint movie. How awesome would a Flashpoint movie be?
Yeah, but I think that ship has already sailed. I agree.
Yeah.
They could maybe make a movie here and there that gets, that's as close to Marvel, a good Dark Side movie, a Flashpoint movie, something like that. They could have a success here and there. But total picture, they've already lost that battle.
Right. Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, what movie could they make that would touch the magic of Avengers 1?
None.
You can't.
Can't.
You lost.
No. And the only reason they could make Infinity War is because of the 10 years leading up to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, Infinity War, that's what makes that such a masterpiece, is it's not just a singular movie. It was the culmination of several years of character development and story and this piece going into this piece. And now we see this puzzle forming. You know what I mean? And that movie is in a league of its own.
On a separate note, talking about DC, I have heard initial reports that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is amazing, though.
I've heard that. I hope. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. And I guess it's the fanboy in me. It's like, okay, what universe are we in? You know what I mean? Like, and I shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
There isn't one. This is going to be if you want to look at it as like, you almost have to go into every movie now as an Elseworlds.
Yeah, they have a whole bunch of Elseworlds movies.
That's what I was gonna say. And like you said earlier, as long as it's good, I don't give a fuck. I said the same thing about Heath Ledger when they cast him as a Joker. I was like, Brokeback fucking Mountain? Ugh. Insert moan, and I was watching it the other day. It's on Netflix now. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to watch it. it's fucking phenomenal. So,
All right, do this for me.
yep.
All right. 2 questions. Number 1, who's the greatest movie villain of all time? And number 2, who gives the greatest singular performance of a movie villain of all time? Because that's 2 different questions, I think.
Vader
Okay.
is probably the single greatest movie villain. And the single, like the best performance by an actor of a villain.
Movie. Yep, in a single movie.
For a villain, well, it had to be Ledger.
Okay.
Have to be.
Because I've heard people say Thanos.
Thanos entered my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Brolin entered. He that did enter my mind. I just watching Ledger as the Joker, it's scary. Yeah. And I think, there's been talk that, he was one of these method guys, right? He was a method actor, and he got so dark and deep in his own shit, it killed him. Because he was trying to channel that evil that we all know the Joker is. And from that performance, I fucking see it. Like, I think it cost him his life. I mean, it's very sensational, I know to say, but I believe that. I really, really believe that, because I think that performance is that good. Brolin did something I didn't think was possible. Especially when you watch the filming of that and the motion capture, and, how does anybody work in that shit? You know what I mean? I know they're professionals, obviously, but if you follow Brolin on Instagram and read his shit, that dude is extremely intelligent, and he's really, really got some really out there thoughts, which I think a lot of actors do. But he did a fantastic job. He's definitely, I've seen some guys in the chat that were putting up their favorite villains. Loki, Killmonger. They're on my list also. But Brolin is definitely my second. He's above Vader for me, which, I'm a Vader fan. He's above Vader for me. So it would be Ledger's Joker, Brolin, then probably Vader.
Okay, so who's the greatest villain ever?
The Joker.
Okay. All right.
What's yours?
I'm talking about movie villain, not comic book villain.
There's been so many iterations of Joker in the movies. Yep. It's like...
And one of them wasn't very good.
One of them wasn't very good. Man, that's tough. I'm still going Joker.
Okay.
Brolin second.
Okay,
or
so
Thanos.
For me, greatest movie villain of all time is Darth Vader.
Okay.
Greatest singular performance is Heath Ledger's Joker.
Okay.
And my rationale, because me and my brother had this debate, and my rationale is Vader did it over 3 movies.
Yes.
Plus, he had the dopest parts of Rogue One, which was awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Heath Ledger just gave us one Flash performance that was so... Now, I'll say Heath Ledger's performance was better than any singular Vader performance.
Absolutely.
But he only did over 1 movie as opposed to 3.5.
Right.
Or however.
Right.
Same thing with Thanos. If Thanos comes out in Infinity or in Endgame and is just incredible and wrecks shop and all that, then I'm gonna start talking about him, because that's 2 now. He's given us 2 performances.
Yeah.
Body
of work.
Now it's only 1, and his 1 doesn't beat Heath Ledger's 1 to me.
See, that's the reason I put Vader where I did. Why, you reading the chat? I see you laughing.
Yeah, fool said the iceberg of the Titanic.
Who said that, John?
Yeah, I've never seen that damn movie.
Yeah, you don't need to see that shit.
Hell no. When I learned that shit took longer than actually took the ship to sink, I was like, nah, I'm out. That's weak.
Yeah, it is weak.
Said,
it's funny, though.
No, said that's funny because I made Amanda watch Usual Suspects yesterday. She had never seen it.
It's amazing.
That's one of the dopest movies ever.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
Yeah, and the reason I'm saying Kaiser Sose in my top is because Thanos and the Joker whoop his ass, and he would have never outsmarted them. So, but no, great. Yeah, Kevin Spacey's best performance probably is Kaiser Sose. But this is the reason I put Vader third.
And who knew Kevin Spacey was actually the Kaiser Sose of touching young dudes?
Yeah, I kind of always thought that.
Yeah, I didn't think that, but that's fucked up.
I always kind of thought that. But yeah. Vader in the first three movies, other than be really cool looking and badass, you didn't have this, you had no motivation. I didn't know what Vader's motivation was. To rule the galaxy? You know what I mean?
Right.
Pretty lame. Right. Whereas in Ledger's Joker, you still don't get a lot of motivation, but he's the Joker, and you get that. Like when him and Harvey Dent are in the hospital room, and he's talking about chaos. It's like epitomizes that character in that scene. That's his motivation right there.
Yeah, well, and see, I'd argue with you. I think his motivation as Joker is good and well plotted out. He's simply saying that the morals that we talk about in society are fake.
They are.
And
well, that's what he said.
True.
Interject chaos.
Yeah, look how many people with these great morals, cheat on their spouses or beat women, or whatever. He's 100% right. The morals we stand by are flimsy at best.
Right. Well, that's the reason he did the whole thing with the ship.
Right.
They can blow each other up. Watch, one of them will do it because, someone's going to cross that moral barrier. And I think in real life, somebody would have.
Oh, yeah.
In the movie, let's send the right message. But in real life, one of those boats would have fucking went up for sure.
They'd have killed the prisoners in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. Yeah. Somebody would have been like, give me that. There would have been a fight over that motherfucker. Give it to me.
Yep.
So
people probably would have been pushing it like with flair, like trying behind the back push it and stuff,
Right. But that's the reason I put Vader down there. Now, in the prequels, we get more Anakin, which was awful, but you get a story. He lost Padme, goes over to the dark side. He always kind of had some issues, blah, blah, blah. So you get a little bit more backstory with him. What's that?
I said it's kind of a bitch motivation. Like, I lost my girl. So
totally.
The whole galaxy.
Totally bitch motivation. Totally.
Yeah.
The prequels didn't help Vader for me, really. But you understand why he did what he did at the end. You need to read the comic, and I know you do. The Vader comic's really, really good.
I was upset it ended at 25 abruptly.
Again.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. The last run ended at 25. I don't know.
All right, so what about this? Say Joaquin Phoenix comes out and just crushes it as Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put Joker ahead of Vader overall? Or no, because your Suicide Squad Joker was still shitty?
I put Joker ahead of Vader anyway.
Okay.
I mean, I put him ahead of Vader solely on that performance, on Jack Nicholson's performance.
Okay.
And I didn't hate Leto's Joker. I didn't hate it. I think they really did him a disservice because apparently this dude filmed a shit ton of scenes and it was
in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, and it was cut to fuck out of. And so who knows what that Joker really looks like. I was really wanting a Ben Affleck Joker or a Ben Affleck Batman versus Joker movie. I wanted to see it with Leto's Joker. Fuck it, man. Do like you did in Aquaman. Swing for the fucking fences. Let's do it. We're never going to see that. And it might have sucked. I ain't saying it wouldn't have sucked. I'm just saying I didn't hate it. Leto is a creepy motherfucker. He's a method guy too. And like I could see a modern day Joker being a lot like Leto was. So, I didn't hate it. Let's put it that way. Was it my favorite? Absolutely not. It's down there in all iterations of the Joker on film. But let's Let me tell you, Joaquin Phoenix, his Joker can be fan-fucking-tastic, but it'll never beat Ledger's, and here's why. There's no Batman dynamic. And you can't, they're yin and yang. They always have been. It's, I didn't think they could pull a Venom movie off without Spider-Man, his main antagonist. They did. But how much better would a Venom movie be with Spider-Man now, right? So
I don't know about that. For me, maybe I think the Venom movie would have been perfect. They could have left Spider-Man out if they just would have made a horror movie.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I liked Venom anyway. I thought Venom the movie was fine.
Oh, me too. I rated it very high.
Yeah. I mean, like, I went in with very low expectations, and it exceeded my expectations immensely.
I loved it.
Now, you put Tom Hardy against Tom Holland, I'll pay to see that shit.
Yeah.
Because I love Hardy, and I think Tom Holland is one of the best young actors that I've ever seen. He's DiCaprio to me. That kid, I hope he doesn't get pigeonholed as Peter Parker and doesn't get to do a lot of other stuff he wants to do as an actor, because I think he's fucking phenomenal.
I think he's going to have to do something real creepy to kind of get away from that.
Sure.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. But trust me, I think he could do it.
I agree with you with the Joaquin Phoenix, but here's my reason why it'll never beat Heath Ledger's. Is because it's an origin story. And I think the Joker works because he has no origin.
I agree.
So I'm a little iffy already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. But I mean, we say that, but don't we really kind of have an accepted origin story of the Joker from The Killing Joke?
I don't necessarily think so. I think we have, if you say the Joker has to have an origin, I think that's the one people will go to. But like Heath Ledger said, multiple choice.
Right. I agree.
And I think works. Now this is going to give us a definitive origin, and I'm not sure I'm with that.
Well, I don't think, but is it? Because it's Elseworlds, right?
Well, and that's what I'm hoping to see. I hope it shows us an origin, but somehow leaves it open. And
sure.
Like,
well,
is this what this really saw?
I've been rereading the Darkseid Wars in Justice League, where Batman gets on Metatron's chair and he asks who the Joker is.
Yeah.
And Batman, you hear the ping, and Batman goes, "That's not possible." Right. So, and there's a series coming out.
The same thing as when they said there was three.
There's three, and that's coming out. Jason Fabok's on one of the books. Maybe he's on the whole series. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Johns and Fabok.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, dude. Talk about peanut butter and fucking jelly there. That's going to be amazing. Right. But, like, so maybe there's been 3 Jokers. You know what I mean? Like, that would be pretty cool. I'm not, everybody said Wolverine didn't need an origin either. Because I remember, when the movies were going to do an origin and Marvel was like, oh, bullshit. Like, you're not going to give our character an origin. We're going to do it first. And they did the whole Weapon X series with Barry Windsor Smith and all that, which was really good, right? So, like, everybody bitched. Wolverine don't need no origin. He's never had one, blah, blah, blah. And it hasn't diminished that character at all. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think he needed it either.
Well, right. He didn't need it,
I
but
think it helped the character.
Yeah, but I agree with you. This is what I'll say. As long as it's good.
Yeah.
If it's good, all right. If it's not, I wish you'd have never gave him one to begin with. Because I'm like you. I'm good with that. Yeah. I'm good with where'd this crazy fucker come from? Right. But if it's good, I'm going to go, oh, man, yes, that's fucking fantastic. And that's all I really want, right? I mean, that's all we really want is to go, motherfucker, yes.
It's just like, as people hate on it, it's just like at BVS when both them dudes' names were Martha. And I had never thought of that shit in 30-something years. And I was like, oh, man, they are both named Martha.
Dude.
I thought that was awesome.
I do, too. And I mean, dude, that movie, it gets so much shit
Yeah.
all the time, even to this fucking day. I was on a thread the other day. It was called the Snyder Cut on Instagram. It's a guy that he's lobbying for the Snyder Cut. I mean, he does all these cool little, Photoshop images where, what would this look like if Darkseid showed up in Justice League? Give us the fucking Snyder Cut. And it's like, dude, everybody's like, fucking Snyder sucked, BVS sucked, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, this movie's what? How old now? And 7 years? And people are still bitching about his movie and his vision. And I'm like, if
And
you
the
fucking,
director's cut is amazing.
it's amazing. BBS is fucking amazing. And if you tell me right now that when he said, why'd you say that name? And he said, Martha is my mother. And I'm like,
Well, Lois Lane says it. She said his mother's name is Martha.
that's right. And oh my God, it is.
Like, oh, they are. Like, yeah.
And some, it's fucking as stupid as shit. Okay. I know how it is when I do some stupid shit and I'm like, God damn it. Fuck you. That ain't fucking right. I guess that's what people are doing. Like, they felt stupid that they didn't realize that. So now they're just so angry and angst against it. But like, you and I are like, dude, I never even fucking thought of that. It's amazing.
Right.
But people shit on it, and they shit on it, and they shit on it, and it was stupid, and it was fucking stupid. And I'm like, wow. Okay, I have to answer this. Jason Jones says, I think most people are tired of hearing Snyder explain his movies. Well, Sam and I said this a long time ago. I think it takes a certain level of intelligence to get Zach's movie. And I think that's the reason Zach still has to explain it, is because people are fucking stupid and they inferred things that they shouldn't have inferred to begin with. You know what I mean? And that's what made the director's cut of that movie so good, is it took all the inference out.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So, not to switch, but so on the great superhero debates too, they just said the Batman saves Martha from the warehouse fight scene was epic. After Aquaman, didn't you tell me like one of the fight scenes or something was the best thing you'd ever seen in a DC movie?
Yes.
And I said, no. Batman in the Russian warehouse. That's the dopest thing from any DC movie. When Batman came
it
through,
is. It is.
He wrecked shop in that Russian warehouse.
He did. And I said that earlier in this show tonight. It wasn't the hand-to-hand stuff that I like so much in Aquaman. It was the super powered fights.
Right.
Like, the feet to the street.
Going through the water and
yes.
slamming into the...
Well, I mean, going back to the BVS, the warehouse scene. Yeah, I agree. That fucking scene, especially in the extended cut, because it's like 3 minutes longer. Oh my God. I could watch an hour of that shit.
It's my favorite singular scene from any comic book movie.
It may be mine too. And I'm going to give you my second, and they flip-flop because I do that with these two characters, Cap and Batman. Okay. Batman and the opening scene of Winter Soldier when he's running the ship, the freighter.
Okay, sure.
That is like one of my favorite scenes in any movie, and that Batman scene is right there with it.
Okay, I like that because I've got another one that's actually from that movie. Cap versus Bucky in the street with the knife.
Yes.
Is amazing.
Yeah.
My other one that's in contention is Avengers 1 when they finally let Hulk loose in New York City. He's running up the buildings and smashing the Chitauri and all that. Those three are the standouts for me.
Before he smashed Chitauri, it's probably my top 5 favorite movie scene is Banner when Cap goes, Dr. Banner, you might want to get angry. And he's like, that's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry. And as he turns, and then he grabs that Leviathan by his fucking lip and drags him down. I was like, oh my God, I came in my pants in the movie theater. That was so fucking epic and amazing. Like it's top 5 for me. And that scene where he's like, Hulk, smash. I mean, that was another one. But yeah, I mean, Go ahead.
All right, Brian Taylor says this, and I like this because it was going to lead into the other question I was going to ask you. He said, "Come on, Travis, you don't like the part in Infinity War where Cap catches the spear, okay? That's a dope scene. What is, not fight scene, whatever, what's your singular number one dopest image from any comic book movie? The one image that sticks in your head."
Well, man, because it's fresh on my mind, it's almost... oh, man, I don't know, dude.
It's a hard question.
That requires some thought. What's in my head right now, because we talked about it, the Aquaman scene where he comes out in orange and gold, that's one of the best cinematic shots of a superhero ever. And I remember Brian earlier in chat said, oh, come on, it wasn't when Cap revealed himself with the beard in Infinity War. Fantastic. That was a great shot. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I wanted to stand up and clap in the movie theater. You know me. I love that. I love him. And that's a great shot. It is. But with the iconic orange and green armor, like, dude, if you'd have told me they were going to put Aquaman and some shit like that 10 years ago, I'd have been like, stupid. And I was like, oh my God, he looks awesome. And he did. The image that comes in my, like, without any thought, the image that came to mind when you said that is Infinity War, when fucking Thor, Rocket, and Groot. Yes.
That's mine.
Is it yours?
Yeah. And I'm not even
I didn't know that.
When he comes up he's got the lightning in the hand. It comes through his eyes. That's my number one most iconic image from any comic book.
This is no shit. While I was in the movie theater and that happened, tears rolled down my eyes. Like, I didn't even realize it. I was literally crying. I was so fucking happy. And now, it's Groot, Rocket, and Thor, of course, but I'm like, if you'd have told me that would have been the shot, I would have been like, you're nuts. But that was the fucking shot.
It was standout to me. But it's not my greatest number one shot of any movie ever. What's that for you?
Of any movie?
Any movie. The number one thing that pops in your head where you were just like, oh my gosh.
Fuck, man, I don't know.
Because I've got an easy one for me.
What?
Darth Maul, elevator opens. He hits both sides of the spear, or of the staff, and the soundtrack hits. Oh, that shit. No, number one, hands down, never been.
That's a fucking good one.
Than that for me.
If that would have to be in my top. Like, if I had a top three, that's got to be in there somewhere. I can't think of two offhand that are better than that, because I love that scene. Because, like, I always thought it was funny when people would shit on the prequels. The prequels to me had some of our best Star Wars moments. Maul in the first one, Yoda in the second one, and then the end fight scene with Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar. Yeah, Mustafar. Yeah. That was, I mean, those are some of the best Star Wars scenes there are.
I got the high ground.
Yeah. I mean, just the fire, and it was just fucking amazing. And brutal, because he fucking makes him a paraplegic in fucking 3 swipes of a lightsaber. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. But yeah, that when the barrier comes up and Qui-Gon fucking sits down, and meditates, and fucking Maul's just pacing like a fucking lion. I'm like, so awesome. So yeah, that's a good one.
I will argue to me that I think Maul is the coolest Star Wars character, period.
Oh,
Vader's a better, but Maul is the coolest.
There's been maybe no villain in cinema history that is as fierce looking and visually striking like Maul is. You know what I mean?
And I would say no character in cinematic history I could think of that had more unused potential.
Oh,
they
right.
Off so quick, man.
Yeah, they did.
We should have 6 movies of Darth Maul right now.
We could have 6 movies of Darth Maul. I'd be fucking fine with that. Dude, shit before. Do shit as he's well, they gave him the Solo cameo in Solo. He makes a cameo as the Black Sun. He's the gangster leader of the Black Sun, which we find out from the cartoon that Palpatine, once he finds out he's alive, inserts him into the Coruscant underground because he's having trouble with the gangs. So he puts Maul in to fucking basically take them over so he can control them, which is pretty fucking smart, right? But yeah, I mean, give me a movie of that. I mean, give me a movie anything with Maul. I'm gonna watch it. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. It's amazing.
So anyway, we got way off of Aquaman. But...
Oh yeah, we did. Well, I mean, we said what we need to say, and we're still people in the chat. So, but yeah, we'll wrap it up. So you gave it a 6.
6.
I gave it a 7.5. So pretty good outing, right?
It's better than I thought they were going to do.
Right. Oh, for sure. Like my expectations were very, very, very much blown away. I mean, for sure.
Agreed. When I saw the slate of comic book movies for 2019, I was like, oh, the shitty one's going to be Aquaman.
Yes. Yeah. And it ended up being one of the best ones of the year.
Yeah, one of the better.
Yeah, one of the better. Yeah, for me, it was one of the top of the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll take more of that shit, DC. Keep it coming.
No doubt.
Well, guys, that's it for the show, man. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for everybody in the chat. I seen where I love it when the chat talks to each other. Yeah, I love that. I'm like going through it. I'm like, oh fuck, they're having a conversation with themselves. That's awesome. So that's
yeah.
I love the community. I think it's fantastic. But we'll be back. Big Sam and I'll be back for Marvel.
Hopefully Bumblebee.
Oh yeah, we'll do Bumblebee because we got time. We'll do Bumblebee, then Marvel. And then a month later, Endgame, bitches.
I think we got Shazam at that time period, too.
Do we?
I think it's in April. I think.
The chat will tell us.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe. John Lucas says Deadpool masturbates with a fluffy unicorn is one of his moments.
Right.
Now, I will say, just because we're...
Deadpool with his tiny legs.
Yes. I was going, we're going to jump down a rabbit hole again for another 40 minutes. But yes, Deadpool with the little legs is the funniest scene in any comic book movie ever. Hands down.
It was hilarious.
Oh my God. Like, I watched it like a week ago. And I'm like, I got to see, like the guys were watching at Firehouse. I'm like, I got to sit here and watch this scene with the legs because it's so funny.
I think that was the worst superhero movie of this year, though, was Deadpool 2.
Yeah. It wasn't as good as the first one.
No, because I liked Venom more. I liked Black Panther more. I liked Aquaman more. I obviously liked Avengers more.
Yeah. Did you see the Super Duper cut?
No. You told me it was better, though.
It was.
Yeah, I need to check that
funnier.
out.
It was funnier. The action scenes were better. Where he's in the bathhouse killing dudes. Oh, my God. It's amazing. Like, those were some fantastic fight scenes in Deadpool also. Yeah, I like Deadpool, though. But, yeah, it was it was in the bottom pile of this year's movies. Next year's more superhero movies than anywhere, Sam.
Yep.
Be the year of the superhero movie. What's that?
It's just growing and growing.
Let's do it. We'll be here. And, guys, we'll be here to review them for you. So, appreciate Big Sam being back. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Sam, you want to Sam has a new martial arts school that he's starting. You want to talk about it for a sec?
Shameless plug. Yeah, for anyone who maybe wants to learn how to fight like they do in the comic book movies. Now, I can't teach you to fly or anything like that, but like the Trident training, that was spear training that we do. I teach Shaolin 5-animal Kung Fu as well as Yang-style Tai Chi. You get the whole self-defense aspect of Tai Chi as well, which most people don't teach. So, yeah, if you want to check it out, first class starts Monday, February 4th. It's going to be Monday and Wednesday nights, but you could join whenever. You don't have to start on the Monday the 4th or anything like that.
Where can they find you at on social media?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Anlun Guan Kung Fu. It's AUNLOONGWAN Kung Fu. Website is coming. Instagram and Facebook are probably the best right now.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, we all wish you luck with your school starting up, and you're going to be back very soon to talk more movies. Yep. And we'll get you on to talk about some comic books too, because I know you're a big comic book fan also.
Yeah,
but guys, thank you so much for joining in. It was I was very excited to do the show tonight. Oh, and Debo, just put your link up.
Yeah, thank you, Debo.
Yeah, Debo's the man, guys. Guys, thank you so much. Me and Sam, it wouldn't be near as much fun without you guys watching and chatting and asking us questions and stuff. So we really, really appreciate it. But we'll be back. And with that, we're out. Peace.